Hello, my dear students. So, welcome to our new lecture. So, as we are learning chapter number 2, that is periodic classification of elements, we have seen all the types of classification or all the classification that was done to classify all the known elements. Okay. Now, the recent classification and one of the most precise classification, which was given by Sir Henry Moseley. Okay, so he gave us the modern periodic table and it is used in the present time, okay, to study all the known elements. So we know at least 118 elements in the present time, okay, and all the known elements are classified in this table. So in the previous lecture we have studied the structure of this table. Okay, we have seen different types of blocks which are there in the table. We know about the periods and groups. Okay, and we also know about the series, that is lanthanide series and actinide series. Now in this lecture we are going to study about the electronic configuration and the significance of electronic configuration on the modern periodic table. Okay, so now you can see there are total 18 groups, that is group 1 to group 18, and 7 periods, that is period 1 to period 7. Okay, now these groups and periods are arranged by studying the electronic configuration of each and every element. Okay, so we have to see first what is an electronic configuration of an element. Okay, now we know that the fundamental property of element is an atomic number. Okay, and each and every element is made up of atoms. Okay, so we have studied that atoms are nothing but the smallest particle of an element. Okay, what are atoms? Atoms are the smallest particle of element. Okay, so atom is made up of protons, electrons and neutrons. So there are three particles or three smallest unit which are present in the atom. And what are those? Electrons, protons and neutrons. Okay, so we know that electrons are nothing but the negatively charged particle of an atom. Protons are the positively charged particle of an atom, and neutron is neither positive nor negative, that is neutral particle of an atom. So in the previous lecture we have seen the definition of atomic number, and it is nothing but the number of protons present in an atom of an element. Okay, what is atomic number? It is the number of protons present in an atom. Okay, so this is the atomic number. So each and every element have a unique atomic number. That means the number of protons is not same in any of the element. Okay, so this number of proton or atomic number is used to create the electronic configuration. Okay, or the electronic configuration is written by considering the atomic number of an element. Okay, so electronic configuration is a composition or group of numbers, okay, which gives us the information about the atom or the element. Okay, let me explain this with you in example. Now what is the atomic number of sodium? We all know that atomic number of sodium, that is Na, is nothing but 11. Okay, that means the number of protons present in the sodium atom is 11. Okay, now if I want to write the electronic configuration of sodium, how I will write it? The electronic configuration of sodium is 2 comma 8 comma 1. So what is the electronic configuration of sodium? It is 281. Okay, 2 comma 8 comma 1. So this number, okay, it is nothing but the electronic configuration of sodium. Okay, 2 comma 8 comma 1. So this series or this group of number 281, what does it shows? It shows the number of electrons in the shell of sodium atom. Now that consider that this is the sodium atom, okay, and it is the nucleus of the sodium atom. Now, around the nucleus, we all know that electrons, that is negatively charged particle of an atom, revolves in a orbit. Okay. So, generally, there are n number of shells. For example, K shell, L shell, M shell, N shell, and so on. Okay. And in those shells, we can find the revolving electrons. Okay. So, in the first shell of sodium atom, there are two electrons, okay, electron 1 and electron 2, and in the third shell you will find 8 electrons, okay. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8 electrons, okay. And in the last shell there is only 1 electron, okay. So the first shell is nothing but the K shell, second shell is L, and the third shell is M shell, okay. Now, I have taken only 2 electrons in the first shell, 8 electrons in the second shell, and only 1 electron, obviously only 1 is left, so the last electron in the last shell. So how we can define the number of electrons in a shell? There is one formula that can be used, and the formula is, what is the formula? The formula is 2n square, okay. So we can use a formula that is 2n square, okay, 2n square, okay. So if the first shell is there, then n is equal to 1, okay. And in that case, 2 into 1 square will be equal to 2, okay. And by this we can get that only 2 electrons can be placed in the first shell, okay. Similarly, if we want to place electrons in the second shell, then n is going to be equal to 2. So 2 into 2 square. So 2 square is 4. So 4 into 2 is 8. So how many electrons can be placed in the second shell? 8 electrons can be placed in the second shell. And in the third shell, we can place how many electrons? 18 electrons. In the fourth shell, how many electrons can be placed? 32 electrons can be placed. Okay, and so on. Now, as this is the atomic number, or 11 is the atomic number, and 281 is the electronic configuration, okay, this gives us a lot of information about the atom or the element, okay. By studying the electronic configuration, we can identify the atomic number, we can get the number of electrons and protons present in that atom, okay. We can get about the valency of that element. So the number of electrons present in the last shell is called as valency of the atom or valency of the element, okay. So the valency of sodium is 1, okay. And by knowing the valency, we can state either the element is highly reactive or less reactive element, okay. So as the valency is low, that means the sodium or the element is highly reactive element, okay. So for this purpose, we define the electronic configuration of each and every element, okay. So how we can write the electronic configuration? The general criteria of writing an electronic configuration is very simple. Let me take one more example. For example, potassium, K. So what is the atomic number of potassium? The atomic number of potassium is 19. That means 19 protons and 19 electrons are present in the atom of potassium, okay. So for writing the electronic configuration of potassium, what we can do, I will take a circle, I will take a round bracket, okay. Then we know that only 2 electrons can be placed in the first shell, so 2. Then we have to give a comma. 8 electrons can be placed in the second shell. So 8 electrons. Now we have placed 10 electrons. So how many left? Total 9 electrons are left. Now according to the formula, total 18 electrons can be placed in the third shell, but we are going to place only 8 electrons in the third shell. And what is the reason behind it? That the 8 electrons in the shell completes the octet of an atom. What it does, it completes the octet. So if any orbit have 8 electrons, so it is sufficient to balance that orbit. Okay. So though the 9 electrons are to be placed, I am going to take only 8 electrons in the orbit. Okay. And the remaining 1 electron will be placed in the another orbit. So we get the electronic configuration of potassium as 2, 8, 8, 1. So what is the electronic configuration? 2, 8, 8, 1. Okay. In the same way, we have to write down the electronic configuration of other elements also. So what will be the electronic configuration of hydrogen? As the atomic number of hydrogen is 1, definitely only 1 electrons is present. Okay. And the electronic configuration of hydrogen is 1. Okay. Inside a round bracket, we have to just write down 1. And this is the electronic configuration of hydrogen. The electronic configuration of neon. Okay. So atomic number is 10. So electronic configuration will be 2, 8. What is the electronic configuration? 2, 8. Electronic configuration of argon, that is Ar. The atomic number is 18. So electronic configuration is 2, 8, 8. Okay. Now neon is an inert gas. Argon is also an inert gas. And you can see the last shell or the last orbit of these two elements have completed their octet. Take an example of helium also. You will see that the atomic number of helium is 2. So electronic configuration is 2. Okay. But in the first shell, only 2 electrons can be placed. That means again, the first orbit of helium atom is also completely filled. Okay. This shows us that the helium, the neon and the argon, all these inert gases are not a reactive element. Okay. They are not a reactive element. They are inert elements. Okay. So in this way, we can write an electronic configuration of each and every element. In the next lecture, we will study the significance of this electronic configuration on the modern periodic table. Now in the description, you will find a link where you will get the electronic configuration of first 20 elements. Okay, that is element 1 to element 20, from hydrogen to calcium. Okay, you have to write down those electronic configuration in your notebook. You have to learn the atomic number also, and you must know the symbol and name of all these elements. Okay, so in the next lecture we will deal with the another point. Until then, goodbye.